Good afternoon and welcome to my channel. My name is Joyce and I do conversations around personal development. Sorry, my hair doesn't quite look right today, doesn't it? I've just come out from getting my nails done and then I just jumped into my car and drove off. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about, you already know, this idea of walking away from stuff. Because you know what? You will never be good enough for some people. Now, I know that sounds really negative, but it's not meant to be. It's actually meant to be really empowering. Once you realize that, honestly, you are on your way to setting yourself free. Because some of the struggles we have in life are self-imposed in that sense. Because we are living our lives, we are trying to impress people who will never on this side of earth be pleased or happy or approve of what we do. Now, the saddest bit about that is that sometimes that can be family. It can be your parent, it can be your parents rather, it can be your siblings, it can be, people that you hold value or hold very highly of and think very highly of, and who are of high value to you. They may be your children, because there's never a time for us to learn lessons. And sometimes some of the lessons we learn quite late. You just have to be and understand that until you are happy with yourself, you will never, ever stop pleasing people. You have to come to a place where you're comfortable with who you are, however you are, whether that depends on your looks, your size, your mental capacity, your home, what you have in your life. You have just got to be in that space where it's okay with me. And if it's okay for me, I don't give a damn. Because if you do start thinking about other people, it gets to a space where it is painful for you to live with. Now, I was reminded again for me this week, because that was my life for the longest time. It took my 20s and my 30s. Oh my goodness. All I was doing is living my life for other people. But I didn't even realize it. That's the saddest part. So if you're watching this, if you're new and this is your first time, this is a clue for you. If you've been here a minute, thank you for trusting me with conversations that will help with your personal development. It took me the longest time and I didn't realize it. This is a sign for you to check yourself and look at the things in your life and look at how you behave with certain people and make that change. Because some people will never be enough. You will never be enough for. So, for example, if it's a parent, you're never educated enough. You don't have the right job. You don't see them enough. You don't provide for them enough. You don't ring them enough. You don't do this enough. And you end up feeling like, when is it ever going to be enough? It could be with your siblings, where you're the big sister now. And so you end up taking care of them, even when they're grown-ass people, because you are trying to be this thing that they've decided you are. And yet it is because they are projecting on what they are and not on you. Don't accept it. Don't accept it. Choose the kind of sibling you want to be. Choose the kind of daughter or son you want to be, or a nephew or a niece, or an uncle or an aunt. You decide the kind of grandma or granddad you want to be. Whatever that role might be for you, you choose. And especially with work as well, sometimes I realized that in some jobs, no matter how much you want the role, they may not have you in mind. You might be working 10, 15 hours a day trying to impress a boss that will never think you're suitable. Start your own thing, or do your job and be done with it. and let the chips fall where they may. Now, obviously, any information I give you is for you to use your own judgment and decide whether it is right for you. But I can tell you from my experience, if you don't feel happy within yourself, if you are not happy with the kind of person you are, you're constantly going to be seeking approval of others. And that sometimes will never be available or will never be enough. Because again, that is based on how they feel about themselves. So often it might be a projection of how unhappy they are, and therefore they're looking for the next person who is gullible enough to take on some of their suggestions. Don't accept it. Choose who you want to be and stick with it. Sometimes it's in a marriage, you might be, or in a relationship where somebody wants you to be a certain way, right? And you might end up being told constantly you're not a good wife because a good wife does A, B, and C. You're not a good husband because a good husband provides A, B, and does A, whatever that might be. And often that is because maybe they're not happy within themselves, or maybe they've fallen out of love. Rather than hit that eject button, they start to sabotage themselves. Now, okay, I'm going to correct myself because I don't know that there's such a thing as in and out of love. I just always think it's a choice. But there is some basics about what you find really attractive or nice about another person. But that's for another video. So choose to be comfortable with yourself. Choose how you are going to live and move and be in this world. And let the people who are meant for you align themselves. And let them choose you and you choose them. And have boundaries as to how you move with them in your life. And never sacrifice yourself for others. You're doing too much. Stop it. Stop doing too much because they don't appreciate it. I hope that's been helpful for someone. Have an incredible day. And I'll catch up with you next week. I'm also trying to do vlogs, a day in the life of. I'm hoping that's going to be fun and light and hopefully insights to maybe my mind and how I do things. That will mean a second video every week, and I'm hoping to be dropping that on a Sunday. So if you can watch that too, that will be helpful. And conversations with you is always helpful. So if you can engage, if there's things you like, let me know. And be kind. Life is already full of some shit that we don't need to be added to. Have an incredible day. Speak to you soon.